Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sankhaya. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world. And welcome to our program. This evening, we will be sharing with you about the recent pilgrimage in Nepal and India, the Footsteps of Mahapajapati Gotami pilgrimage, honoring women in Dhamma. This took place from December 15th to 23rd. And so we're just back here in California, getting over jet lag. Everybody is recovering and strong enough, and we thought it's a good time for us to gather again online. I see a number of people here who joined the pilgrimage. I want to welcome all here. Let's see, I see Venerable Aye Shakya Dhammadina, who was a major organizer of this. Welcome, Aye. I see Venerable Tamanusari. I see Prasanamati Guruma, Venerable Arya Mangala, and several who joined as temporary seminaries during this time. There were two aspects to this pilgrimage. One was the pilgrimage itself. The other was the temporary ordination program. And so I see, let's see, people are still popping in, but I see a number of our temporary seminaries here. Welcome to all. And going to be hopefully a wonderful program and wonderful reunion and opportunity also for those who were not able to come in person to learn a little bit more about it together. So I'd like to begin this evening by remembering the reason that we're here today, the inspiring founding mother of the Bhikkhuni Sangha, Mahapajapati Gotami Teri. So she was one of the great disciples of the Buddha, of course, being our first teacher and very much the reason we're all here. But she was, in a way, the reason that he was here in this life. She was his mother, not the one who gave birth to him. His first mother, Mahamaya, gave birth and then passed away 7 days later. But she was the mother who took over at that time, who nursed him, who raised him, who loved him, who grieved when he departed from the palace. And, even at the end of her life, in her Teri Apadana, her verses in the Pali Canon, she announces herself as the mother of the Buddha. And the Buddha himself, at the time of her passing away, at the time of her parinibbana, he does the funeral ceremony as a son would for a mother. And so we can consider her, his mother. She was also a queen and a leader of the Shakyan people. She was a queen, and later in her life, she led a group of 500 women from the palace on an amazing journey of 300 kilometers, departing from the palace and walking to Vesali to request ordination of the Buddha. And we can imagine her as a leader, as a trusted leader. These women wished to go forth, and they went to her. They knew her as the queen, as the leader, and that she could advocate for them, that she could organize them, that she could bring them all the way on this great walk, on this great trail of renunciation in search of their ordination. So she became then the first bhikkhuni, and we honor her as the founding mother of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. And she became an arahant. And that is the greatest reason, really, to honor and venerate her, that she was one of the great disciples of the Buddha, one of the great arahant teris, who could lead not only to ordination, but to the highest goal of the spiritual life and represent that for us. So honoring her today, I'm seated here next to her sacred relics. Seated here, they traveled with us through Nepal and India together on pilgrimage recently. I'm seated here with her image. And I'd like to begin today with just a brief meditation, um, reflecting on the qualities of this great awakened leader. And so I invite you to take a moment to settle in. I know people are still arriving, and just take a few minutes here to sit down, to feel ourselves here and now in this posture, and to reflect on the qualities of Mahapajapati Gotami Terry, letting them come here, letting them bless us here and now. This pilgrimage has been a time to feel close to her, close to the relics, close to her footsteps, close to her image and inspiration. I invite just a few minutes of meditation, bringing that inspiration close, bringing her and her qualities to mind, as if she's sitting here with us now, blessing us. Namo Buddhaya. Once again, greetings to all. And yes, once again, I want to welcome everyone here. Let's see who else has joined us now. I see more bhikkhunis joining us who joined the pilgrimage. I see, yes, happy to see you all. And oh yes, Deepak Anand,
Deepak,
also
good.
an important, very important, well, how even to describe Deepak's contribution to this pilgrimage. It's enormous. Very happy to see you, Deepak. So we'd like to start this evening by giving a brief introduction just to what the pilgrimage was, what did we do every day, where did we go, and so we have a short video slideshow for that we're going to share in a moment, and after that then we'll open it up for people to share about their experience. So anyone who is here online with us this evening who was part of the pilgrimage, we warmly invite you to think about what would you like to share? What was meaningful that is good to share together this evening? And we'll have some time for that. We'll also have some time for those who were not there in person on the pilgrimage, such as my colleague here, Venerable Tavira. She had very essential support behind the scenes here. It's sending us off and packing many suitcases for us and all sorts of things, but she wasn't able to come in person. And so she can be a representative here of those who weren't able to come, but
I was watching from afar.
I was watching from afar, and if those who are watching from afar also would like to share anything about what was meaningful to them about watching from afar, or ask any questions they might have, we'd also like to have some time for that during this program. So the main part of the program will be some time for sharing, both for those who were present and those who were not present. But we'd like to start just with basic introduction to the pilgrimage. So this pilgrimage began in Nepal. Some of the participants started in India and in Bodh Gaya and took a bus ride to Lumbini the first day. Others started in Kathmandu. And the group I was with flew into Kathmandu. We were carrying these sacred relics with us. And we had a very warm, beautiful welcome in Kathmandu. Very grateful to the Gurumas at Dharmakirti in Kathmandu. I think there's a couple here who very happy to see you again, Venerables. And from there we flew to Lumbini and joined up with the main pilgrimage group. And we spent the next 6 days traveling the route that Mahapajapati Gotami Terry walked with her 500 women from the palace, from Kapilavastu to Vaishali. And I won't say too much more. I'll let the video tell the story. Yes, we'll start that. So this, I want to say, this largely comes from a blog post that Deepak wrote. And so this introductory text comes from him. And we'll go ahead here.
Ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada sotthing karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada sotthing karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada sotthing karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada sotthing karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada sotthing karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada sotthing karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada sotthing karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada sotthing karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada sotthing karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada xuất thinh karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada xuất thinh karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada xuất thinh karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada xuất thinh karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada xuất thinh karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada xuất thinh karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada xuất thinh karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada xuất thinh karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi sada xuất thinh karotu no ratanyunang bhikkhuninang Gotami jinamatu cha thapita agathanam hi Sada Sotthing Karotu no Ratanyunang Bhikkhuninang Gotami Jinamatu cha Thapita Agathanam hi Sada Sotthing Karotu no Ratanyunang Bhikkhuninang Gotami Jinamatu cha Thapita Agathanam hi Sada Sotthing Karotu no Ratanyunang Bhikkhuninang Gotami Jinamatu cha Thapita Agathanam hi Sada Sotthing Karotu no Ratanyunang Bhikkhuninang Gotami Jinamatu cha Thapita Agathanam hi Sada Sotthing Karotu no
Oh, thank you everyone for sharing and watching together with us. There were so many names in that video of people who were involved in this event, and just really want to have big Anumodana, big appreciation to all of them. It's amazing how many people came together and how many people's efforts were involved in making this possible. And many of them here this evening. So I would like to, at this time, open it up for sharing. We've just had a few photos. There were many more photos than that taken. There were various videos, and we had sort of like the film crews following us, and ended up on the nightly news in various nations around Asia. And so there was a lot of attention, a lot of photos. And now is a time that we can just sort of be together and talk to each other about how it was, and what was meaningful to us, what is the lasting impact of this. And let's see, I'd like to start by inviting, who's here? May I invite Venerable Shakya Dhammadina, who was a primary organizer of this event through UTBSI, the United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International. Are you there, Venerable Dhammadina? I invite you to begin.
She's online, but her camera is off.
Okay.
Namo Buddhaya, everyone. I pay my respect to Venerable Tathaloka and all the senior venerables connected here. And I am really grateful for Venerable Tathaloka for from the initial point of this charika, and she was there with us with the whole charika till we finish. And I'm really grateful that she planned everything, and from the beginning, and she had that idea, and also like Deepak, because they all connected together, and how we can make this program successful was a very big challenge for us, because we really had very less time with us, only a few days with us, and also arranging, like inviting 100 bhikkhunis, and doing everything was for them. So uh, I think many of the bhikkhunis, they don't know that during the whole Charika, there were many points that was never planned before, and it was planned at the last moment. There was many things, like many things, like receiving the relics for, and being host, and who will lead the chanting, and there are many things that which was never planned, though it was in our planning, but we could not plan it very well, because we did not have that much time. And also the time difference from America to India was also a big challenge for us. And before the Charika, I was busy with the Tipitaka chanting also. So as soon as we finished the chanting, we finished the Charika. I had an invitation from Taiwan to join the conference of Global Buddhist Bhikkhuni Association from Taiwan Bhikkhunis. So I went there to join the Global Buddhist Bhikkhuni Association. So though I was busy physically, the one thing that was in my mind continuously is that Ratanyunang Bhikkhuninang Gautami Jinamatucha, because we recited these verses during our whole Charika, and really this was like continuously humming in my mind. Even I was busy physically, but it was continuously humming in my mind. Okay, now it's been more than 10 days. We finished the chant. We finished the charika. So now it was fading away. But now, just now, I heard these verses again in this video. So now it's it has started again in my mind, and I don't know for how many days it will continue in my mind. So this was the first thing. And actually, these verses I didn't know, because here we recite only the Agga Savika that Buddha recited at Mam Savika Anang Bhikkhuni Nang. So I have always recited those verses, but I did not know about these verses. So this was really new for me, and I have like memorized most of the verses of this, because Venerable Santini, she sent it to me before we started the Charika. So I have memorized most of the verses now. So this was really new. And if I see the experience, because I'm writing the articles for everyday experience, and Venerable Tathaloka is translating it into English for the other bhikkhunis. So I just want to keep each and every memory in my mind, maybe for the next year and for the whole lifetime. So there was places which was very. I'm Indian, so I have been to Kushinagar, I have been to Lumbini, I have been to Kapilvastu many times, but there were many places which were really new for us, and we did not know. And it was because of only Deepak that he found those places, and we could reach to those places. And there was one place, the Anoma or Thadi Ghat of Nepal side, where we recited the Patimokha. So this was the place where no monastic have ever reached. We were the first monastics to reach that point. So it was really like wonderful, and the beginning of that place. Hopefully, in future, that place will be developed as it should be, and we will be in the history that these bhikkhunis started these places initially for the development of this place. So if I see that, externally, if I see, so there are many benefits that I have seen, that people were asking us again and again. I got so many messages for that charika, and people were congratulating us that this was the historical event. But if I see internally also, I think our heart is now more grateful to Mahapajapati and more dedication for the Bhikkhuni Sangha, because we have seen now that what we can do and how the path that Mahapajapati walked with 500 Sakyani women. So now we know that our vision that we were working on is becoming more and more clear, and our heart is full of more dedication for the Bhikkhuni Sangha, full of more courage for working while working for the Bhikkhuni Sangha, because we know that there are many obstacles. So during that journey, though I was mentally busy, but when I was going to my bed every night during that charika, my heart was thinking about the whole day and only about how the Mahapajapati walked with 500 women, because we were managing only 100 women, and it was not easy. We were managing only 100 women, and of course it was not easy, but how she managed to manage the 500 women at that time. So yeah, there are both advantages I can say, both benefits I can say. External world, the seeing the bhikkhunis, how they see the bhikkhuni, how they used to see the bhikkhuni before and how they see the bhikkhuni now, because now they know that bhikkhuni can also contribute to the world, for the world peace, that bhikkhunis can also walk in this like dark fog, very cold weather, 100 bhikkhunis from Kapilvastu to Vaishali, 10 days journey without any proper like support or something, but still the world have seen that bhikkhunis are also walking for the world peace, for the on the path of Buddha. So this is it has impacted their mind really really well, and for internally also I have more dedication, more confidence, more courage, and more clear vision to do my work. So I have seen a lot of changes and many more to reflect upon, because I did not get much time. I came back from Taiwan just 2 days ago. So I did not get much time to think. Now I have written all the post, but I need to find the photos and just go again to the Charika point while seeing the photos. So I will get more insights from this Charika, I'm quite sure. So thank you, Venerable Kathaloka, and all the venerables. Venerable Kachina brought robes and medicines, and where Supatra, she was representing the Kapiya for all bhikkhunis, so she managed it very well. So I'm really grateful for all the bhikkhunis also who joined, and especially the Indian bhikkhunis, I have seen the difference, because me and Vandana, we were really afraid each and every moment. But those bhikkhunis, they appreciated. And later also now, I have like I when I came back to India, I met some of my lay devotees. So they told me that I met that bhikkhuni, I met that bhikkhuni, and they were really appreciating the charika in every moment. So it was really new for me that I'm not getting any negative feedback from the bhikkhunis, from the Indian bhikkhunis. They all are very positive about the charika and about the work that we have done. So it's a great achievement for us being an Indian bhikkhuni, I can say. So it has really impacted on them, and maybe more charikas if we do in like we are going to do in future. So possibly this will impact them, and how the world want to see the Indian bhikkhunis, they will become like that. I hope so, and this charika will contribute a major role for that. So this is all that I want to say, and hopefully yesterday we had the meeting of UTPSI. We had a great meeting and we discussed about this Mahaprajapati Charika also for the next year. So like the supposed date, Venerable Kachina suggested on behalf of Venerable Tataluka, it may be in November or February. So I think the November will be better, because some of the bhikkhunis come to India to join the Tipitaka chanting also. So if it is in November, so after that they can join the Tipitaka chanting. But if it will be in February, so they will come in December for Tipitaka chanting, and then they will come in February. So it will be difficult for them to travel just in a gap of 1 month. So this was the thing, and also suggestion by Venerable Dhammananda and Venerable Liufab. And also we are going to start a number of participants also, because Deepak strongly suggested that we should have less number of participants, maybe 50, but Sushi Foundation and I think Venerable Tataluka also wanted it 500. So one third Theravada, one third Mahayana, and Vajrayana, and other sects. So it may be, it will be very difficult, but if we have to go with the 500 number, first we need to finalize the number of participants, because if we need 50 people, so maybe we can start planning in August or September. But if we need 500, that we need to start planning now. It's very difficult for the 500. Yeah.
Mhm.
So this was the thing. So yeah, these all things happen. I think we can discuss more about the next year,
Yeah.
Charika, how we are going to do it, and who will
Yes, there's a lot
sponsor,
more to
number of
plan.
participants. Yeah, number of participant and the managers, coordinators, and everything. And yeah, this all will be planned. And also UTBSI, UTBSI and Mahapajapati Society of India, we are organizing a World Bhikkhuni Assembly in Bodh Gaya from 5th of March to 11th of March, and everybody agreed on these dates, because during this time the Bodh Gaya is almost empty, and we can find the accommodation very easily in Mahapodhi at that time, and the accommodation and food will be provided by Mahapodhi. So 5th to 11th March. But because most of the UTPSI bhikkhunis are on behalf of UTPSI, they can help to manage the program in March. So this is the information that I have. So
Sadhu,
soon
sadhu.
for the next year, Charika, and hope to see you again. May you have a good health and happy life. And I wish to see you again walking with us together on the footsteps of Mahapajapati Gotami, part 2.
Sadhu,
Thank you. Have a
sadhu,
good day.
sadhu,
Yes,
sadhu.
thank you very much, Venerable. Thank you very much for sharing with that. And you know, for as little time as there was to plan and organize, it came out really amazingly. And I know you had so much difficulty, but also so much success. And I just want to say congratulations with how it happened at all. Is amazing. And thank you for sharing with us also the ideas about next year. So yeah, we'll be having many more meetings about that, I'm sure, and things to plan. Uh, you know, in different venues. But for here and now, I think we want to celebrate our success. And yes, let know that we do hope to continue this, that the Tsuchi Foundation, who we appreciate so much, they walked with us, they supported us all the way. This pilgrimage would not have been possible without them, and they have said that they would like to continue to sponsor this pilgrimage each year, even in larger numbers. And Anumodana, really, it's an amazing thing that it was able to happen this way.
Yeah, I mean, truly, their sponsorship this year made it possible.
Yes.
I think it could not have happened without them this year. So,
Yeah, true,
incredibly
true.
grateful for
And
their
also not only
sponsorship.
the sponsorship, and we must look upon the film crew member also. They invited the film crew member from Singapore, from
Yes.
Malaysia, and from
Yes, and that's
Taiwan.
going to have such
And there
lasting
was a
benefit.
huge,
We're
yeah,
looking
there
forward to
was a
seeing
big
the film.
team. Yeah, there was a big team, and there will be many episodes of that movie. So it will be wonderful because they have
Right.
taken a lot of interviews.
Yes. Anyway, I just want to say congratulations, Venerable, and thank you so much for joining us and for sharing all of that. And we look forward to continuing to work with you about planning for next year. And for those who are online, the main thing I think to know is that we think it will happen next year. It sounds
Yes.
like maybe most likely in November, though not confirmed yet. So, program. For now, I'd like to move on and let's see. May I invite next Deepak Anand, who is, you know, in many ways one of the early visionaries of this pilgrimage. He has walked these places before. He's a researcher who has been part of, or has a project called the Retracing Bodhisattva Xuanzang project. Bodhisattva Xuanzang was a Chinese pilgrim who came from China to India in the 7th century CE, and who recorded the locations of many of these sites. And Deepak has spent years trying to rediscover the sites associated with Xuanzang and walked many, many kilometers and studied and shared about this. And I'd like to invite Deepak. Also congratulations to you. I know you've been envisioning this for a long time, and I wonder, how is it for you to walk together with 100 bhikkhunis, or as opposed to just walking by yourself? Any sharing you'd like to do about that? I welcome a few minutes if you're with us.
Yeah, Venerable, thank you. Good evening to all of you, and good morning to people who are in India and Nepal. Venerable Dhammadharini has summed up very nicely. I don't think I have anything to add to it, but I would thank all Venerables for participating. As Venerable Dhammadharini was mentioning, that Indian bhikkhunis, who most of the time are sort of not very happy, glad with things, they were also very appreciative. So I'm very happy to listen that. But yes, we had our own challenges because this money from Shruchi came very late, and we had very little window to make planning. I myself, I have heard lots of things that people were complaining about many things, and I agree with them that there were many shortfalls, and it was not actually a kind of textbook execution the way I had planned. But still, I'm very happy that we could touch all the places, and very nicely we offered prayers at all the places, and it is a very great beginning, I would say. So there are very wonderful takeaways from this yatra. And first of all, state government had declared it as a state event. This was a very big success. State government does it very often. I don't think, it was last time the state government did this was some 15 or 20 years back, when most venerable Thich Nhat Hanh visited India sometime in 2004 or 5. That's what I remember. So after that, this is the separate kind of event which was given a state guest honor in Bihar. So it was a huge success, I would say. And I anticipate more support from Nepal and Indian government in coming near future. So now coming to the composition, number of venerables who can participate. Though everybody is talking about 500, but I'm not very keen on 500 number, because we do not have support system for 500 at any of the places in this whole Charika. We had so much of difficulty with 100. Yeah. So, if we want to do it very nicely, offering puja, prayers, and mindful discussion, and meditation, and chanting, everything. So it should be, instead of 7 or 8 days, we should have a 10-day. And also we should have not more than 50 or 60, and we should also have this composition of inviting some, good journalist from, women journalists from around the world who can join and write about it, and good photographers, women photographers. So we should also think about, it's a World Heritage kind of stuff we are aiming at. My idea is that Mahapajapati Gotami trail should be given a World Heritage status. So we should plan accordingly. It is not only a spiritual or religious trail. It is also a World Heritage kind of stuff, where this great lady, great Venerable Mahatheri, who walked with 500 sisters, nuns, and this trail. Now everybody has experienced this trail. Now we can imagine how difficult it must be for all the participants at that time, 2600 years ago. So idea is, besides the religious and spiritual part of this trail, we should also aim at it should enter textbook. People should know about it, and it should be given a World Heritage status. So we should, when we plan our next tour, next Charika, so we should think all this thing also. So it should be kind of religious and little secular also. We should invite people, world level, journalists and photographers to join Charika and write about it. So that's all I have to say. And I'm thankful to all venerables, and sorry for any shortfalls. It's always we will work on that, and we will bring some. Next time it will be better. We will, all of us, we can try together. So that's all I have to say. Thank you, venerable, all of you. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much, Deepak.
Sadhu.
I just want to say the same thing again. It's amazing how well it went, given all the conditions. I really think it was a wonderful thing, and I want to appreciate and Anumodana all your efforts that have led up to this. And I agree, we learned a lot, and it can be better next time. But let's see, a couple things. Chaloka is asking that I let know the Great 500 idea was Venerable Lufap Vidita Dhamma Mahateri's idea. Her own idea was 50, not 500. And
we'll work our way up to 500.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. Is it'll take a little time, but we do hope for 500 at some point. And she also had a question for Deepak: was what does it mean to be declared a state event or a state guest honor? Can you explain what that would mean about this pilgrimage?
Guest honor means, I mean, it's like, government thinks it is very important event, and state should host it. So that is why wherever we went in India, in Bihar, so they were police escorting us, and school children coming and welcoming us, and district officials coming and asking us if there's any problem, any difficulty. And that's why we could, visited so many shrines without without giving any tickets, without paying any money. We did all this shooting at all the places. We flew drones. Generally drones are not allowed in India, without permission. But we did all those things. So it was all because, state government thought that this is a very important event, significant event, and state government should be taking, what do you say? Should be grateful to the participant for, visiting Bihar and doing this thing. This is important heritage. So this is all, I can speak on and on this, but generally it's state government is proud of this event. Something like this.
Sadhu, sadhu. Yes, and we really appreciated the hospitality at each site. The local people offering food, offering flowers, offering their presence and welcome. And that was very wonderful to see, actually. And I know that that's been a big part of your work, sort of making these connections and with the idea, I think, of developing these sites so that someday there might be accommodations for 500 people at some of them. Today there's not, but if this trail is well established and people keep coming, that those things will grow and will become part of the local heritage there. So I'm appreciating very much your work with that, and Anumodana to all the local people who came out, and the government officials and everyone supporting this. It's again, it's just a very large impact on a large number of people, and amazing thing. Yeah, so I'd like to move on. May I invite, there's several here who are from Kathmandu, our friends, the Gurumas from Kathmandu, who welcomed us in Nepal and coordinated a lot of things for us in Nepal, who prepared these wonderful statues and blessed them that they could come with us on the pilgrimage. And I wonder, I see a number of Gurumas here. May I invite someone? I'm not sure if someone would like to share. Again, this is sort of our local support. Friends, Yanawati Guruma or Prasanawati Guruma, would one of you like to share about your experience with this pilgrimage?
Yes, whenever. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. My warm greetings to all bhikkhunis all over the world, from America, from India and Nepal. Good morning to India and Nepal, and good afternoon and evening to America. So, first of all, I would like to express my gratitude. I would like to say profound gratitude to Venerables Thaloka and all the organizers who organized this historical event and allow us to participate in this program. On behalf of all the Nepali Bhikkhuni and Gurumas, I would like to express this profound gratitude to all of you first. And we are also feel privileged and delightful to welcome whenever Kachayana, along with whenever Marajina and Snowball, with great sacred relics, Mahapajapati Bhikkhunis. So it is really our privilege and honor, of course, also delight and us also. And we could welcome you and placed this sacred relics to Tamakiti Vihara and Charumati Vihara. So we are very blissful for that. And for that, I would like to thank you all. And this event, of course, is historical, and we began this journey from Kathmandu to Lumbini, Kapilavastu, Ramgram, and all along to India. So, as a feedback, as a recollection of all these memories, we really want to express our gratefulness and happiness that in this historical event, that after 2000 and around 2600 years, we could make this as a historical journey on these footsteps of Mahapajapati Bhikkhunis. So on this, we are recollecting all these qualities of Mahapajapati Bhikkhunis on these journeys, especially how grateful she is, how great her greatness, her leading capacity, her resilience to walk along from Kapilvastu to Vaishali, so many miles. And when we were walking, we remember that we are walking only 3-4 kilometers or maybe 5 kilometers a day, and we feel a little bit tired after 3-4 days. Then how might be Mahapajapati Bhikkhuni while on her 80 age of 80? So how maybe she was walking with those very smooth legs, because she was queen, but she could make that effort to establish Bhikkhuni Shasana. So we recollect and again grateful for her effort and great work to establish this Bhikkhuni ordination. As Dhammadharini Bhikkhuni also mentioned before, that in this journey we not only recollect, be mindful, not only that, also we feel dedicated that, oh, Mahapajapati Gotami worked so hard to establish this Bhikkhuni ordination. It was not easy. So we should work more hard, spontaneously and effortlessly. So we should dedicate more for many people, for us itself, to end of the suffering. So all those great mindfulness thoughts came to us. And while we are walking, we feel this is not in 2026 25 5th or 26, but it is like Buddha's time. We were walking, and we were walking with the bhikkhunis, so we feel like we are in Buddha's time. So it was also great great thoughts or mindfulness came to us. And in this program, I just want to add another thing, is that in Nepal's condition, though we would like to establish bhikkhuni ordination, we could not yet, and there are many controversies going on here yet, and we are not being able to confront this problem. That's why some of us have been ordained as a bhikkhuni from America, from China, Taiwan, but we could not wear the robes yet. So in this program, we feel like a little bit isolated from the group, maybe, or of course no one discriminated, but yet there should be some management, or maybe I don't know how to just express these things, but anyway, I have been ordained in Sri Lanka, and I also was wearing yellow robe in Sri Lanka. So I know the value, and I know the feelings and emotions to be non and having those robes. So it is really great if we also can continue that one. But we also are trying for that. Yet we are not being able to do. But anyway, even with all these things, we could make this time, and especially whenever Bhikkhuni Sujata was holding those sacred relics of Mahapajapati Bhikkhuni. So we feel so honored, and we feel so happy for that she could hold those. Hold that without any difficulties. Actually, I think she has been more than 60 years old, but she was continuously and mindfully holding with gratefulness. So that's also our very honor and privilege, I feel. And for all those things, I really thank to all the organizations. And if we will do an annually, so let's have a more good organization. And I know this was like a little bit rush, and we also not being able to program with all the schedule that after this we go to the Anuma river, we will do this and that, or when we do the Patimokkha on another day, we will having the time on so we can manage them more properly, I think. Of course, we did it well, but we could do it in future with more organization and more smoothly, I think. So thank you so much for allowing us to be part of this event, this historical event, great event, I would like to say. And thank you so much, and may all of you be blessed with Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and our great mother. Thank you so much.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much. I have another comment from Ayatoloka. She says, please share my enormous gratitude to Prasanawati Guruma, serving enormously and so dedicatedly as lead coordinator for the Nepal International Nuns Association. And
Yes.
indeed,
Thank you
much
so
appreciation. And
Yeah,
she says she also wants to formally thank and commend Most Venerable Guruma Shakin Bhikkhuni Sujata Mahateri, who you mentioned,
Yes.
for her enormous contribution throughout the Charika.
Yeah.
She could not join us this evening due to other Sangha duties. We're sorry about that. I was looking forward to seeing her and hearing from her. I think her role in this pilgrimage was very important. She was, she was at the head. She was leading us every day and carrying the sacred relics, and with so much sort of presence and mindfulness and strength, as you said. And so she was a great inspiration to me throughout this pilgrimage. And I want to echo what Ayatoloka has said, to thank and commend her, and hope we will be able to see her another time. Sorry
yes,
she couldn't join
whenever
us this evening.
Noti and Nyanoti Gurma, they are the senior nuns from Nepal, so they allow us to join in this program. So we would like to express our thank and gratefulness to our senior Bhikkhuni and Gurumas also. Yeah, and to all of you.
Yes, yes. Much appreciation also to Nyanawati Guruma and the other senior Guruma Bhikkhunis. Modana. So thank you very much. There's so many people here who I'm sure have wonderful things to share with us. I'm wondering, maybe next I'd like to see if one of those who participated in the temporary seminary ordination would like to share something. This was another important aspect of the pilgrimage that I think was very meaningful for some of you, and I see a number here. Would anyone, ideally I'd like to hear from all the bhikkhunis and all the temporary seminaries, but is there anyone who'd like to put up their hand to the next to speak?
You can raise your digital hand. That makes it easier for us to find you.
I can raise my actual hand. I couldn't find my digital hand. But...
Okay, so Paula.
This is Paula. Hi.
Paula Waramita Seminary, temporarily, and also our companion on travel from San Francisco to Nepal together with the sacred relics there and back, as well as temporarily ordained Wadamita seminary. Yes,
and an
please.
enormous part of the travel planning as well.
Yes, enormous part of the travel planning. Many things could not have happened without Paula. And so, yes, please tell us about your experience.
Thank you. Greetings to everyone and all the Venerables as well. Yeah, just reflecting back, there's a way in which did this really happen? And then it's like, yep, it really happened. Just so much immense gratitude, really. I am just still really just amazed to be able to take the temporary seminary ordination. It's something that had been on my mind for a while and that I wasn't really sure would be possible. And then very late in the game, finding out that like this can happen and that this can happen in this way is just like so amazing. And with this group of people and in that place, to be able to take temporary ordination at the place where the Buddha spent 29 years of his life. I mean, wow. I tell people and they're like, I'm sorry, what? And it's just like, it is just, yeah, I almost don't have the words. And I think there were challenges, but I'm so grateful for them because I think of all the challenges that we had in the planning of the pilgrimage, on the pilgrimage, and I learned so much. I feel like I had so much growth in just 7 to 10 days, just personally as well, and being so inspired by everyone in the planning and everyone that we walked with. It was definitely one of those situations of all of a sudden I don't know how to dress myself in the morning. Putting the robes on it's so much harder than I had thought. And just like needing help. And I tend to be sometimes someone who's very hyper independent and like I can't dress myself. And having the seminaries all come together and help each other and the Bhikkhunis help us. And still, I mean, it was hard for me. Even on the last day, I needed help to get dressed and to walk and to eat, to use my bowl. Like very humbling to kind of go back to really training. And all of the elders were just so kind and it just felt like just a real sisterhood to feel like such a part of something. And I think that's also for me, like when this first was an idea, I think I heard about it early. I heard about it at the Sakyadhita conference of when this was an idea of something to happen. And I knew immediately if I could be a part of it, I wanted to be. I had no idea what it was going to be. The idea that it was 100 of us together walking in this way is just, it's so incredibly inspirational of what we can accomplish in a very short amount of time as a group together. And so it's just incredibly inspiring. I think that's a lot of what I have to say. I feel like such a part of more of a global community than I had before. I feel just like I've got Dharma sisters and brothers all over the world that I didn't know I had before. And to also just be traveling with the relics was so unbelievably special. And to feel like I have a mother in the Dharma as well that I wasn't so aware of before. Yeah, and just so much gratitude for all of the sponsors, so much gratitude for all of the organizers and all of everyone. Just, yeah, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to have participated and supported. Yeah, so thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah. Yeah, I especially resonate with what you said about having being part of the international community and really feeling like, we walked together with people from 13 countries and there's some real strength to that and a real connection. And that's a value that I also feel carrying forward. And so wonderful, especially to see everybody online again today. Okay, well, let's see. Shall I invite next? May I invite Supatra? You're a sort of, I'm trying to find representatives of all the different groups at least. And Supatra would represent like the volunteers, the supporters. Supatra traveled along as Upasika, and served as kapia for this group, and so that's a sort of unique experience and a unique opportunity to travel along with the sangha and be together in that way. So, welcoming you to share a few words about your experience. Supatra is the Dhammadharini Support Foundation president, and so that's how she found out about this. But she dabbled together with us on the pilgrimage, and
Well, thank you for the opportunity, to reflect. And first of all, before I even start to talk, I want to join everyone else in expressing gratitude to everyone that starting from IIT down to everyone else that are conceiving and planning this yatra. When I heard about it was more like in late September, and I don't have any idea who was organizing it or what's going on or anything else, because I was busy with my own thing, in the board. But I know that in that same time, approximately the same time, there's 3 pilgrimage, right? We are one of the 3. There is Abhayagiri, there is Buddhanuson, and there is Dhammadharinis. At that time, I called it Dhammadharinis. And I have no questions that I want to go with the Bhikkhunis, the Dhammadharini one. I wanted first of all, I've never been to India, Nepal, so I have always wanted to do a pilgrimage. But what I wanted is to go with the monastics and not with majority layperson and, like a tour or something. I really want to go with monastics. So that's the first thing I want. And part of the reason is I don't know many monastics personally, even if I'm in the board, we talk on Zoom when we have meetings, which is not that often. And that's about the relationship that we have. Or sometimes I go on events, but events is busy, right? There's agenda. And I don't really know the monastics, both at Dhammadharini or anywhere else, much personally. And I thought these were perfect opportunity for me to really know all the bhikkhunis that I saw all the time, not only at Dhammadharini. There are many that comes during the Vasa from many places, like Venerable Vandana. I saw her many times, and all I see is, Anjali and smile, and that's it. So I thought this is such a great time for me to really know. And I was hoping that at the time that I will know many of them. And that is achieved in a way. I don't know 82, 85, but I know many, many more. Personally, we have time to, as we walk, from one place to the other, we have time to chat, we have time to laugh, we have time to work together, which makes that, how should I, the connections, that I'm looking for. And when on the first night that I was there, I was put in the hotel because at that time, somehow on the last day, I thought, okay, maybe I should stay in the hotel because I'm not sure what the monastery's facilities will be like. But only that one night in the hotel, and I realized that I will be isolated, from what's going on, the life of this pilgrimage, or the bhikkhunis, or the rhythm, or the things that we're going through. And I, because I was put in a hotel on the first night, I missed part of the head shaving ceremony, which happened immediately when my bus arrived. And then they said, okay, you go to the hotel. But I said, when Paula said, okay, now I'm going to have to shave my head. But I said, I want to see Paula shave her head. I want to be part of it. And then I think Anand maybe said, you look very tired. You have to go to rest at the hotel. And then I said, well, I'm gonna miss it. And he said, well, you can always come back, but it's far away. So that's when I realized that no, I don't want to be in hotel. I want to be with. So after that, I asked to be, staying in the monastery all along. I'm really, really glad I do that. I get to know, every time you stay in the room, there's at least 7, maybe 10 other monastics in the room. And just being together, at night using the bathroom for three nights or something, you really get to know I get to know those that I may not remember their Bali name anymore, but I remember their face and the interaction, like from Indonesia, from Vietnam, it's from many from India, from Nepal. I was so thankful for that. And the first thing is that after the temporary ordination, then I look around, I come to realize that I'm the one of only 2 laypersons in this trip of 85, 90 people. I said, oh, I didn't know that. And it was really interesting, to see that. And so I was asked to be the kapia without really knowing what exactly my responsibilities are, but I accept it because the other layperson, she came from India as a kapia for a particular senior bhikkhuni, and then she doesn't speak English that well, so I took that. And it's interesting because then everybody thought somehow, when after I was introduced, a lot of monastics, I think, except people that already know me, like Venerable Kachayana, somehow thought that I'm part of the organizers or something. So if they come to me to ask about everything, like, oh, where are we going to go next tomorrow? What time are we leaving? And, are we crossing the border here and there? I said, I don't know, but I suddenly become like the face of the organizing. So I try to look for Ranjan or Tenzin or Anand, but as best I can, but normally I don't see them. So it's a very interesting. And the last part that I'm really thankful for is that we are not going the classic, how should I say, the regular route that, most pilgrimage go to. We go through the route of Mahapajapati, which means we go to a lot of sites that is not built over, it's not paved over, it is what it is, and it's mostly in villages, and we go from villages to villages. It was so great, and to see the villagers always follow us. And now I just heard from Deepak Anand, that actually, I don't know how and why the villagers show up in so many, and I just get the chance to talk to the villagers sometime, or one of the Suju Foundation people, and say, oh, how did they know that we're going to be here? And they say, and the answer is, oh, they just know, and they show up. I say, oh, okay. And how does this doctors, show up with a table to give away, medicines to, and eventually say, oh, it's like a city thing or the village thing, the county thing. And then now Deepak Anand said, oh, because we are part of this state, what is it called? State, he just said, I forgot the word, state sanctioned event. So the state probably helped tell all these counties. But it was so great to see the villagers coming to see our events, and a lot of them, and I had the opportunity to talk to some of the villagers, and also to many of the Suju Foundation's volunteers. It was just absolutely a very precious and invaluable experience that I have the fortunes or I'm fortunate to come with, or choose to come with this this pilgrimage, follow the footsteps of Mahapajapati, as opposed to the others that's as around. I can never really want to be anywhere else. So yeah, come back with a lot of memory and a lot of things to process, of all the exposure I have with all the beautiful monastics, as well as the newly ordained seminary and the villagers and the Suzhou Foundation volunteers, which is another like fascinating group of people. Yeah. So I think that's all I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. You had a unique perspective on this, so it's really nice to hear from you about that. And I'm glad you were able to join us. Very, very moving, actually, that you wanted to come along and get to know us. I appreciate that, and I'm very glad you could. Okay, so I think we've got about another 20 minutes for sharing, and I'd like to, at this point, open it up for, I don't think we're going to have time to hear from everybody, but I'd like to open it up. So whoever would like to share or ask or say anything, please raise your hand, and we'll be happy to hear from there's more bhikkhunis here, there are more temporary seminaries here, and there's those like Anunea who did not join us, but I am happy to hear from you also. Let's hear from Anunea, please.
Well, unfortunately, I'm too old to have gone on this journey, but I'm glad that Supatra was able to go. That's just really wonderful. Well, one of the things that I'm very, very happy about, number one, that you all did this and that you were safe, everything worked out, and that this was became a state-sponsored event. I just think that is just wonderful. That just opened, there's always, it's kind of a mixed bag sometimes where you get the state involved and then they, little regulate, whatever control things maybe happen, but that's nothing. I just think that that just opens up just a huge possibility on so many levels that you probably can't even imagine about how that might unfold eventually. But that's a really good thing. And Supatra said this really well. This is like visiting places that nobody but a handful of people even knows about or even goes to. And it's such a significant part of history, actually, aside from the very obvious and important religious aspects of it. And for the what it opens up for bhikkhunis in general too. This is just a huge Anumodana to everyone who participated and who planned, because I know how hard it was. I happened to come by I think it was that Friday or Saturday you were leaving, Monday or Thursday before you left on Sunday, and Paula and China and Tavira were madly in their computers trying to make last-minute arrangements to see if they could even get there. So, it's just an amazing thing all the way around. And also to Ayatollah, who was the inspiration. And I know how much she does behind the scenes that no one will ever know. And how wonderful it is that this actually happened. It's just it's really mind-blowing on so many levels, actually, to use a very old phrase. But and much metta to all the participants from overseas, in all the countries that were able to come. That also is just really wonderful in a time that we're living in, where everything is there's a tension just about 100% of the time, it seems, to have something like this and people to actually do something that is absolutely positive and helpful and of long-lasting benefit to everybody, then this is just many, many blessings to everyone for that.
Sadhu.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think our hope was that this is meaningful to a lot of people, whether they came or not. And I'm glad that you were able to join us in spirit, if not in person. And yes, it's true, there were a lot of last-minute flight changes and didn't know if we were going to get visas, and was
Significant visa uncertainty.
Yeah, was it even going to happen at all? Was quite uncertain until the last minute. So again, I say it's amazing it happened at all. And for all the things that can be planned better next time, I think we should really celebrate that it did happen. And I think it's important, as in all the ways Ananea was mentioning. So thank you very much.
But it's the first, but it will never ever be as good as the first one. I mean, it'll be wonderful, it'll grow, and it'll be just absolutely beyond, hopefully beyond anyone's imaginations of where this might grow. But really, you all did the first one, and that is just like, you just can't match that.
It's true. Yeah, it was special. It was special in that way. Thank you.
I guess I'm wondering, so we don't have a lot of time, and I know there are a lot of people on who did join. I'm wondering if people would be interested in sharing just like a brief snapshot of like what's a moment that was especially significant for you, or like what's the thing that will be part of the experience that will stick with you the most. I think watching from a distance, we're seeing the pictures, we're seeing the videos, but I'm interested in like what your personal experience was, and like what is there some like little snapshot you can share that's really memorable. And if you can raise your digital hand, that's really helpful.
Yeah. Okay.
Venerable Kachina, do you have one?
Oh, okay. Well, I see some other hands up, so
okay.
I'm spared from giving mine for now. Maybe I'll come back later if there's time. Yes, Venerable Arya Mangala. Please.
Okay. Namo Buddhaya. Sincere respect to all the Sangha present, Ayatollah, all the brothers and sisters in Dhamma, all the good people here. One of the things that really struck me is about this range, and it was around where we did the Patimokkha on the river. And the Buddha always uses the analogy about a raft. And, there were some little boats out there that didn't look raftish, but they looked like a boat, and it took you from one side to the other. And I thought about the rippling effect and the echoing that's going on in this sort of event. And we had Deepak who, what's going on? What's happening? Like, is this some sort of echo of Xuanzang? Continuing that kind of story of what's going on. Here we are following these sacred relics, these aspirations to be liberated, as female form. And all that coming together, all those people, we have the Shakya sisters leading. We have so many bhikkhunis, seminaries, gurumas, all these beautiful qualities that were present to my eye when I engaged with people. And it's coming through time and space in these places. And having been to India many times, what also struck me was many of the villages that sort of were host to these places that were significant places, they seemed like they were in good repair. They looked kind of clean. They didn't look like the sort of messy urban parts of India. So I was wondering, thinking about the echoing of goodness and the way that we were received so hospitably by these people. And so all through that journey, it's that sort of incredible gratitude when we're sort of internalized and looking externally and kind of matching and stitching this sort of crossing over from leaving all the kind of, there's many bad things out there or things not so satisfactory that we could pay attention to. But as we're crossing over and paying attention to the good things, there's just so much more of that in the world when you can just keep your attention to it. And so, of course, the thing that's striking about this, it's not nothing. Out of time and space, in 15 miraculous days, all the goodness, all the people, all the spontaneity. And it's kind of like when we think about the Buddha always saying, like, be an island to yourself. But we are kind of really connected in that island internally. And he's kind of like the Lone Ranger. And there's this sort of comet of goodness passing through, and we're getting dragged into it by the range of Ayatataloka's initiative, the help of Jutsi, of all this kind of things coming together, just coming together to make such a beautiful thing. And it's something that I will hold in my heart and keep returning to feed myself that good memory of something good I've done in my life. So that's what I have to share.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Okay, we have a couple more hands, so we can make time for as many as we can.
Should we go to Mu next?
Yes, Mu, Temporary Seminary Dhammasamutta.
Hello.
Welcome.
Much gratitude. Yeah, beyond words. So I wanted to just like just touch on the best way to describe it is a little joy. Like there's a little laugh of joy. I think this was like a concurrent experience for me, even before I joined, even before I came. Basically, it started to happen before I joined everyone. But I don't know what this is. Like it's kind of hard to explain. But the best way to describe it is that all the drama, all of the anxiety, all of the conflict that usually happens, all of the problem. There was no problem. Even though it was an adventure or a ride, it wasn't a problem. It was just a little joy. That's like the quality of it. And then one of the things that your invitation to think about a moment. I want to say I came out of the massacre. I didn't come out of a massacre myself, but I came out of a massacre in Sydney. I don't know if, and a lot of people didn't know that, but I left Sydney and there was a massacre the night before I left Sydney. And there was a time in Australia that everyone was gathering to, I guess, honor the victims, that the people that have been lost. And they were coming out with their candles and they were gathering. And it just so happened, like I was there by myself on my bus going, oh, I really want to do this offering of the candles and remember the people that have passed. And it just so happened that that's when we went to a stupa and we were with candles and we're all chanting, and we were all chanting metta with full of boundless loving kindness. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, that's something to reflect upon. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, wonderful moment.
Venerable Overa?
Venerable Overa.
Oh, and Venerable Gotami, 2 for 1.
Okay, yes.
Thank you so much, Venerable, for giving us the opportunity to share our gratitude with the
echoing.
We're getting an echo.
So I want to share a few of the moments which really touched our hearts. The first one was the ability to join the relics as soon as they arrived in Lumbini and to be with them to the point till they departed from India. It was really a blessing. Also, the day we both joined the group on 18th, I was asked to, I'm very grateful to Venerable Dhammadina that I was asked to give the night duty with the relics, and it was such a blessing. It was Uposatha day night, the night on which most of, like maximum arhants, arhantship was attained after Anilati Devi received ordination in Sri Lanka. So that night on Uposatha, spending it with Mother's Mahapajapati Gotami's relics was, I still imagine and think, so it brings goosebumps to my body. And reading Venerable Tataluka Teri's big, beautiful post about how miraculous that Uposatha was, it really, really felt like a blessing to me. And during the pilgrimage on the last day, when we were going for the Parinibbana Mount, we happened to have the extra statues of Mahapajapati Gotami to be carried for the validatory end function to be distributed to others. And I really felt blessed to carry those extra statues in my hand. But I really, every step I walked, it filled my heart with gratitude to the Gurumas and the Sujata Guruma and Anavati Guruma holding the relics throughout. It felt like watching them with a smiling and light-handed face. It might feel like it's weightless. It was weightless, but carrying it for a long distance, it does need that really a lot of heart of conviction, faith, gratitude to bring that strength to keep carrying it with all honor and dignity and just maintain that poise and calm. So I'm very grateful to have that opportunity to touch how it means to carry a statue throughout the walk. Also, during the end of the walk, I happened to hold that Muthukuda umbrella over the relics, and that also is kind of a duty. It's not an easy task to hold that Muthukuda. It also carries weight, and to be exactly positioned over the relics, to be mindful, to maintain that honor throughout. So I just want to appreciate whoever, whenever, gave that duty of holding the Muthukuda, and hats off and lots of gratitude to Venerable Gurumas, Yanavati Guruma and Sujata Guruma for holding the relics and Mahapajapati Gotami statues throughout with such a light-handed and a smiley face always, and also chanting. I was almost breathless by the time I reached the statue to the end of the Parinibbana Mount, but they always kept chanting with all the energy, filling the whole group. It was wow. Also, our whole group was like filled with variety of age groups. There were young Samaneris, there were old ones, there were elder bhikkhunis, and everybody, in spite of their ailments, they were so enthusiastic and determined to walk on this path. Like everybody lined up together, showed up together every morning, in spite of, we could hear, as somebody shared, 7 or 8 or 10 of us sharing rooms. So there was a point to be able to connect to the ailments, to the problems they are going through. Somebody had surgeries and whatnot, but they all showed up, and it was a wonderful sisterhood feeling indeed. Very grateful to everyone. Thank you.
Sadhu.
Finding the
Yes.
time to
Thank you
stay
for-
somehow. I would just
Oh, yes.
quickly like to share the few snapshots that comes to my mind, which connected very deeply within. And it all starts with even during the planning stages at Dhammadharini, where I was a little confused about participating at the first place, and how enthusiastic Samaneri Arya Dhammajivi was there, who was convincing me time and again why I should join it and how special it is and how important it is. And the moment since then, towards the end of the pilgrimage, I was time and again connecting back with my heart and thinking about what lesson does this pilgrimage wishes to teach me. So every time, every step on the end day, when I was again took a time to walk the mount of Mahapajapati Gotami Theri's Parinipana Mount, there was a moment, oh, with so big Sangha, I happened to grow this opportunity to be more humble, to be more of service, to be more grounded in Dhamma and Vinaya. And that's what were the teachings of the Buddha for Mahapajapati Gotami Theri. And somehow, with a very grateful heart for all the organizers, for all the Venerable Bhikkhunis, all the seniors for gently guiding us, for Shaka Dhammadina also for hosting us, taking care of us, sharing with us where we are, what we are doing at such a new places, for Deepak Ji for very kindly bringing these places to light and sharing their significance time and again. And managing such a big group indeed was very challenging, but it was so beautiful to see all the venerable Sangha coming together. And especially, like, because we are very new in the Dhamma life, we didn't have this opportunity to meet Indian Bhikkhuni Sangha also. And staying with them, connecting with them, it felt like such a loving mothers they all were, and there were always moments of very kind jokes, very caring support, assistance throughout the time, and not to mention that everybody was falling sick because of so cold, coughing, blocked nose, and having fevered body, but everybody was so kind, coming together time and again. It really was touching. And by the time when there was this end, and we were very slowly walking back from the mount, there was this kind of again a feeling that was arising that, oh, Mahapajapati Gotami Theri walked this trail 2600 now years ago, and now here we are walking again. So may it just not be the walk in general, but may again there be a rise of Arhant Bhikkhuni Sangha, and may this Sangha come again together, and not just in wearing the robe, but also embodying that Dhamma and Vinaya in the hearts towards the epitome and reaching the goal of the holy life in the female form as well.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you both very much for your sharing these wonderful moments. Okay, we have one more hand up. Before that, though, I want to share another comment from Ayatoloka. She about Venerable Arya Mangala, who I think unfortunately has just left us, but we still want to appreciate her. So Ayatoloka says she would like to acknowledge how much Venerable Bhikkhuni Arya Mangala contributed towards the commemorative plaques and towards the vision of there being statues of Mahapajapati Gotami to be able to share, as Venerable Gotami, the current one, was speaking about carrying the statue. There were a number of statues, and Venerable Bhikkhuni Arya Mangala is part of how that came to be. But it's not only that. Also in Sri Lanka, she gave essential support for our request for the sacred earth of the ancient Arhat Teri's stupas in Anuradhapura and Mahintale, which then led to senior monks and leading Buddhists getting the idea about offering the most sacred Arhat Teri's relics themselves, which then brought the most venerable Mahapajapati Gotami Arhat Teri relics to us. So, just so many threads coming together, but she was part of how it came to be that these sacred relics are here now, and how they came to be on the pilgrimage also. So wanted to acknowledge that and appreciate her, even though she's had to log off for other programs. And then one more hand up, very important participant in our pilgrimage, Venerable Bhikkhuni Vandana, who many of you from Dhammadharini know. She's been with us here the past two Vasas, but she really was sort of, I don't know how to describe, second in command of our pilgrimage, running around wrangling the people all the time. And you know, the one time she had to go away for something, then Venerable Sujata was like, oh no, who will control the people without you? And so want to appreciate your controlling the people and doing many, many helpful things during this pilgrimage. And happy to have you here to share with us.
I think I saw Venerable Dhammanusari in the background.
Yes, is Venerable Dhammadharini there also? Both of you were together. Yes.
Hello, Venerable.
Good to see you both. Yes, welcoming your sharing about this.
Thank you so much for giving the chance. First of all, I would like to pay respect to Arhanta Theri, Mahapajapati Gotami, that we have her relics with us. And Ayatthaloka Mahatheri, who gave us this chance to be together and walk on the same path of Mahapajapati Gotami. And all the senior bhikkhunis present here. I want to say that because you said I'm the second person who was handling everything. It was not just handling the situation, but handling the people, their thoughts, the anxiety, because people were having so much anxiety because of the cameras, the amount of the cameras that we had at that time. It was like, even if you do something, you have to look around before that there's no camera to make sure they're not filming you. And sometimes it's like when even I'm gathering people or I'm like shouting like, please come together fast, we have to go. There's the camera there shooting and it's like, please don't. I'm trying to organize it, you know. So I have to keep remind them that I'm trying to gather people, and they say, Venerable, because you're shouting, you're smiling, you know, so we don't understand what are you doing. We feel like you're really happy. That's why you're laughing, and so okay. So for this pilgrimage, I felt that in this whole our life, we only have read from where Mahapajapati has started the journey, and from how many struggles she got the permission from the Buddha to enter the monastic life. But for me, it was really first time to see the places where the journey of the bhikkhuni, the sangha of the bhikkhuni birth started. And, you know, literally when we went to the place where Mahapajapati asked Buddha permission for ordination. So I feel like that's our birthplace. I mean, I can say I physically maybe I born somewhere else, but for Bhikkhuni Sangha, that's our birthplace. We only have read in the books that right here, Buddha gave permission to the Bhikkhuni to get ordained, but we never know because it's again, if you go there, there's only mustard field there, their houses, and you can say that that's the historical place and that important place they're having there. So when I went, there was like, okay, the first thought is like, okay, I'm going to my birthplace where the Bhikkhuni Sangha have born. And that time, if you see in that time, I think you put the picture of that where I'm holding the umbrella. So when I know that we are going to that place, I remove my shoes and I don't want to wear it because I feel like, okay, if I'm going to my birthplace, I didn't born with the shoes or anything, right? That time Mahapajapati she walked barefoot and stuff. So I wanted to have that experience. So I don't know. Once I remember, I asked someone, please, can you carry my shoes? So they were carrying my shoes with me and I was walking barefoot. So I feel like this journey is not just for walking. This is for our spiritual journey also, that we are walking physically, mentally, you know, emotionally. So in this journey, I feel that all together, you know, emotionally, mentally, physically, and it was, I feel like it's somewhere it's really supportive towards you, that how you can manage yourselves while handling many other people, you know. At some point I was thinking like maybe I will break down, but amazingly, surprisingly, everything went so smoothly at last moment. I really appreciate all the bhikkhunis who were there. I understand and I accept that we don't have that proper organization that moment, at last moment, but everyone had so much metta and compassion to support us who were like trying to do. At some point I didn't have answers, you know, when people are coming to ask me, and it's like what we're doing next, where we're staying, and I feel like, okay, this is the same situation like when we ask Ayaka China something, and sometimes Ayaka China don't have the answer. It's like, okay, now we get it. completely get it. So it was like really up and down, but in the end, it was beautiful. It was so wonderful. And I feel like this is the first step for the Bhikkhuni Sangha to get together and grow together. It doesn't matter from which country, from which tradition they are coming, but it feels like in the end, we are all one family from one tree. So I feel really blessed to join, and I hope that we can continue this every year with so much love, kindness, compassion, and supporting each other with full of love. That's all I would say. Thank you. Thank you for giving me a chance.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much for sharing that and for your many efforts during our pilgrimage time. Yeah. So come to the last few minutes of our scheduled program. And I think we can have a little bit of time after the end of the scheduled program for those who'd like to stay on after we turn off the live stream. If you'd like to have a little more time together, welcome. But we can come to our formal closing here. And I'd like to just take a moment to sort of settle, just breathe a little bit and see how all of these words land with us. I'd like to invite again the presence, or our sense of presence of our founding mother, Mahapajapati Gotami. And I've heard you may not be able to see clearly on the screen, but her relics have been here with us throughout. They're in the golden stupa here, the same that was carried throughout the pilgrimage. I think it's still a little hard to see on the screen, but I promise they're here and blessing us with their presence. And so I'd like to end with a little bit of chanting, just briefly. We'll do again the Ratanyunam verse, not to get it too stuck in Venerable Dhammadina's head, but to bless us all. There are worse things to have stuck in your head. This was one that can well up, and it can really be a blessing for all of us. So I was thinking about doing all 13, but I think because of time being short, we'll just do a few times the verse of Mahapajapati Gotami. And I'll just pull that up here on the screen so anyone is welcome to chant along. And for those who didn't know the meaning of what was being chanted before, we'll just be doing the first verse. It says, among bhikkhunis of long standing is Gotami, maternal aunt of the Buddha, attained to the supreme state. May the power of her qualities be a blessing to us. So we can chant together. We'll start with Namo Tassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Ratanyunang Bhikkhuninam Gotami Jinamatucha Tapita Agatanam hi Sada Soting Karotuno. Ratanyunam Bhikkhuninam Gotami Jinamatucha Thapita agatanam hi sada soting karotu no ratanyunam bhikkhuninam Gotami jinamatucha Thapita agatanam hi sada soting karotu no. May her qualities always be a blessing to us. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, thank you all very much for joining, for your sharing, your participation, your support in so many ways. Anumodana.